Welcome to beautiful, beautiful, sunny, rainy Southern California. That's why we're inside today. So yeah, the rain it's been going off this winter. We've been loving it here. So guys, I'm gonna get us ready because I have a beautiful, beautiful workout for you today because I'm gonna teach you how to do the kettlebell snatch. Okay. Now this one, you're going to need to have a bell that you can safely put overhead. So make sure you have a lighter one nearby, but also just to be clear, because this is the most powerful movement, sometimes called the czar of the kettlebell movements, you got to make sure that you have one that's heavy enough so you can feel the power through your hips to be able to drive that bell overhead. Now, all the snatch is really is just a ballistic hinge where just like your single arm swing, but rather than stopping at your chest height, you're going to have a little bit more power and you're going to have the trajectory go rather than out, up, overhead. Okay. So I'll go through all of this and what's required for everything that we need here. Okay. But before we get started, I always like to do a nice little warm up for you here. Okay. So if you could join me on this, this is going to make sure that all your joints are ready. I could use this today myself. For those of you guys that have long weeks of workouts, or maybe not, maybe this is your first one. We're going to heat things up right here. Okay. So let's start by bringing those fists down and back behind our back. We can start by shaking our head, yes. So chin down, look up, chin down, look up, down, up. Good, come to neutral, look right, and then look left. Keep driving those shoulders down, right, left. Let's go right and left. Good, back to neutral. Let's go right ear, right shoulder, and then left ear, left shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. Good, back to neutral. We're going to let that head roll one direction, keeping it out front, and then let it roll the other way. One direction, and then the other way. One direction, and then the other way. Good, let's let that head drop. Let's slowly bring it up. All right, so we're going to take two fists here. We're going to halo it around our head. So standing up tall and straight, you're going to halo your hands around your head, and then go the other way with it. So we're just alternating the directions we move. And thank you for joining IG Nation, Instagram Nation, YouTube Nation, you YouTubers out there. Happy to have you all here in Venice Beach, California, where I'm stationed. Good. Stations, that sounds official. Let's bring our hands out. One palm up. You're going to bring your other palm down, and you're going to just open up. And think about like you're wringing out a towel as you twist. Good. You're going to switch, go the other directions. Stationed, I just mean this where I live, Venice Beach. I love it here. Good, switch. Even in the rain, why not? It's a little floody out there. And switch. Good, come back to center. Let's take the bottom of those fists together. Take a deep breath in. Big one out, big hug. In, out, in, out. Let's go one more in and out. Good, let's come tall. All right, if you need to hang on to something, you can grab it now. Otherwise, we're going to just bring our knee up. We're going to bring it out and down. We're going to just open up those hips. Up, out, down. Up, out, down. And if you notice, I'm just working through all the joints of your body. Let's go the other direction. So out, in, down. Out, in, down. Out, in, down. Out, in, down. Let's do the other side. So in, out, down. In, out, down. In, out, down. In, out, down. Let's go the other way. So out, in, down. Out, in, down, out, in, down, and then out and down. Good. From here, let's interlock those hands again. We're going to just circle those wrists, make sure they're nice and open. I definitely need this today. For all you grippers out there, for those of you kettlebell lovers, you need this one. Other direction. This one always kind of gets me right here because I'm always doing a lot of grippy stuff. So I need this joint work. I hear a little snap, crackle, and pop every time. Good. Now from here, what I want you to do, so when you think about taking your sunglasses, you're going to take them off and punch your elbows out. Take them off, punch your elbows out, off and out, off and out, off and out. Let's go the other way. So out and on, punch them out, put them on, punch them out, put those sunglasses on, out and on. Good. Now from here, come to your knees. We're going to just bend right here. Now I want you to go left, front, right, and back. Okay. So you're going to just make those circles, but be a little exaggerated with it. Work with it. Get some motion in the ocean before we start snatching. I need it. You might need it. Okay, let's go the other way. So we're going to go right, forward, left, back. Good. And we're going to just circle it out. That's it. Just circling. Ooh, this feels good for me. Maybe it does for you. Good. Come tall here. We're going to just lift our leg up. You're going to make your ankle full circle. So full circle with that. For you ankle lovers out there, I'm saying that because mine are actually really tight today. Let's go the other direction. I had to make a few adjustments in my workouts this week after I just did my, let's switch the legs, other foot. I just did my Strong First barbell certification. So I made a few mods this week, and let's go the other direction. So some of my barbell work is pretty, it's intensified a bit because I found some holes in my armor. And that's what we're about. That's what we do. We want to find it. All right, now from here, what I want you to do is go wide from here. I want you to take a nice squat down, pry your elbows in between, okay? If you have a kettlebell like me out here, you can even hold on to that, or otherwise just hold on. And then you can give a little rock side to side. Okay, and then after this one, I'll do a little introduction. I'll kind of tell you the game plan today. I'll take you through everything we're going to do, and it's going to be a nice workout today. I'm really looking forward to this one. Teaching this move, it's one of the hardest ones to teach, but it's one of the most rewarding when you get it. Good, come on up. All right, here we go. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Alex Carew. I am a Strong First Elite certified coach, and I've been doing a live class with the Kettlebell Kings. I think this is my third or fourth one. And I'm looking forward to, we have more on the schedule. So if you like my style, you like this, really exciting things coming out with the Kettlebell Kings. I have, these live workouts. I also have a book that is nearly there, just waiting on a few things to come through, but that's going to be coming out with the Kettlebell Kings as a collaboration also. I've been a coach for over a decade now, and I obviously love kettlebells. I love barbell. I love bodyweight stuff, all of this stuff. Any type of movement, I do think there is a higher purpose to all this stuff that we do, and it serves our body, not just for right now, but for the long term. So wherever you are in this life path, hopefully when you meet me here, I'm able to give you some information, even if it's just one takeaway, that's great. Okay, so that's a little bit about myself. Some fun facts. I've been a vegan for 12 years now. And that's been a good experience. I don't even really think about it anymore. It's just kind of the way I eat. I also, what else? I like to surf. I like to play hockey. I pretty much all sports, I could say. I live right by the beach. So obviously I do love the beach. I like to travel around. I love long walks on the beach, holding hands, all of the nine. All right. So that's a little bit about myself. I do want to give you a little bit of formatting so you know what you're getting into with this one. So this one's going to be more of a tutorial, okay? I'm going to give you all the things you need to be able to do a proper kettlebell hardstyle snatch, but I also am going to provide you with a little bit of a workout at the end. So the workout can be extended, as you will see as I go through this. But otherwise, everything I'm going to be giving you hopefully is good information. Even if you've done this move before, I'm hoping you get to take something away from this, because maybe I just coach it in a way where maybe it makes a little bit more sense the way you might understand, okay? When we finish the whole tutorial, the workout, we're going to do a quick little meditation, okay? A little mindfulness. I always like to end the workouts like that, a little breath work. You're coming off of that really big high right here. It's nice to kind of even yourself out a little bit before you go into wherever you are in this beautiful earth of ours. And we're going to go from there. After that, guys, if you do have questions, I'm not going to be able to read them while you're going. So I do see some of you guys writing to me as we are going right now. I can't really respond as we're doing the workout, so I do apologize that I'm not able to read it as we go. But with that said, I will do a Q&A at the end, okay? So when we finish the meditation, stick around, and if you have some questions, or if you have some in here, feel free to write them down in there and then just come back to them. You can copy and paste it, and I'll do everything I can to answer your questions, okay? I try to see everything I can. I'm doing 2 platforms, one on Instagram, one on YouTube, so I'll do my best to be able to get to all of your questions, as this movement likely is going to have quite a few questions, okay? But hopefully the way I teach you, I'll be able to answer a lot of them off the bat, and then we'll go from there, okay? So let's get into it, guys. Right now, I have a Kettlebell Kings 28 kilogram right here. Definitely a little bit challenging. My test weight is technically a 24, but I'm going to be doing it in smaller spurts, so I can definitely pull this one off. I don't want you to match my weight. I want you to do the weight that's appropriate for you, okay? You can base it on your single arm swing weight, okay? I'm going to go through that real quick. We're going to do a warm up with that. But this workout does actually have a prerequisite that you have a single arm swing in your workout, okay? So I'm only going to be able to teach so much there. And then if you're not able to have that in your arsenal, maybe just follow along, watch, and you can try some of the moves, but be careful going overhead, just because it requires a lot more mobility and a lot more power, okay? That's your pre-warning. Otherwise, let's get into it. All right, so I do have chalk here because I don't want my hands to slip. Okay, so I'm gonna just line up some right now. Okay, so the derivative of the snatch is going to be our kettlebell swing, okay? So we're gonna do a single arm swing to warm up. I'm gonna have you go 10 swings one side, we're gonna park it, 10 swings the other side, okay? So remember our lineup, step, step, hips, hands, and then we're gonna do our normal one-handed swing, okay? This is hardstyle, so just a couple things to be aware of. When you're going back, shoulders stay square. When you come to the top, they're square. We're nice and tight, okay? The bell's not pulling us. Our lats are in the socket, and we want to be strong and in a plank position at the top there, okay? Every single time. All right, so let's line this up now. We're going to go 10 swings, 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1, 10 swing. Good. When you finish those 10, you can park it, okay? A little shakeout right here. All right, so a couple things. I'll cue you as we're going here because it's going to help your snatch also. Make sure that we have the biomechanical breath, okay? That means breath in on the way back, a gulp in the nose, and then a TSSST, punch breath out. That's going to create the contraction in your stomach. That's where you want to be a plank, okay? Let's do that other side. If you're on the right, go to left, left to right, wherever you are. Let's finish on that other side, and then we'll get into it. All right, here we go. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1, 10 swing. Good. When you finish those 10, just park it safe. Okay. So get your breath back. I need it. Okay. So we got the swing there, all right? Some of the key components of that are going to really transfer over. Now, the big difference in a swing versus a clean and snatch is in a swing where the bell is going trajectory out, forward, with the snatch or clean is going upwards, snatch is going upwards also, okay? So I tell you that because a lot of times, and this might be you might find that your snatch looks like this. We don't want that, okay? I'm going to do everything I can to eliminate that early on. I'll do a side angle. I'll try to give you every angle I can so you can see why we're going to go through the steps in order to get that trajectory to go overhead, okay? So bear with me on this one. It might seem like easy at first or even overkill, but it'll pay dividends when we end up going overhead here, okay? So before we get into the actual technique of it, I'm going to show you where we're going to end up. I'm just going to do 5 snatch one side, 5 snatch the other side so you can see what the end result looks like. Okay? Good. So, as you can tell, I'm going to take a second, get my breath. That moves a lot of power, okay? I want to show you what it's going to look like in the end because when I take you through these steps, they're all going to make sense. Okay, so give me a second. Just need to breathe. I know I'm in good shape, or relatively good shape. But what 5, 10 snatches take that much out? I mean, it's because this move is hard, folks. It's a really hard move. Okay, the way I like to teach this is get you guys going with that upward trajectory I was talking about, okay? So with the swing where it goes out, I want to start with what's called a low pull, okay? A low pull, all it is basically a kettlebell row, but in a ballistic manner, okay? So what ends up happening, you come to a float in this position, okay? So I think probably going to be the best if I show you from the side here, all right? Sometimes it's called a handshake swing, whatever you want to call it. The big thing is that your elbow's going back and the trajectory is going upward, okay? You're going to see why this is going to pay off in the end, all right? So let me show you first, okay? And then you can follow along with this one, all right? So you're going to notice all the lines are going to be the same. I'm still using my hips, but it's going to get to this position in this low pull position, okay? So right here. Okay? So you can see all I'm doing is I'm still creating that float, okay? I'm using my hips to create that float, but I'm going to that position. The trajectory of the bell's now going this way, not that way, all right? So why don't you give this a try with me, okay? A lot of times when people do this, it's a little bit awkward at first, and I'm going to say that, and I'm sharing that with you because it might take a few reps for you to get the concept of the power that you need in your hips, okay? So if that's you, I give you 5 reps on this to give it a go, okay? If anything's unsafe, just park the bell or even drop it as long as it's in a safe space. Get out of the way and then pick it up and then join back in, okay? So we're gonna go 5 low pull here. Here we go, let's line up 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get. All right, we're gonna go the other side, okay? So again, notice the trajectory is going up. We're pulling that bell straight back, okay? Other side, 5 low pull, 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get. Okay. It's a quick little shakeout, all right? Some of you guys might feel your heart rate already starting to get up. Okay. Again, reason for low pull, trajectory going upward. Now, if you have a good low pull, that's a good sign because that means when we go a little higher with it, we're going to end up going overhead at the end, okay? So that's where we're going to end up going. But what we're going to start with here is we're going to go from that low pull, okay? We're going to go 3 low pull and then 3 mid pull, okay? Now, mid pull, it's not a high pull, okay? All right, I don't like to teach it like that anymore because it gets really confusing because then I start seeing people crank it up like this, and it's not necessarily what the snatch feels like. It doesn't feel like you're cranking it back and up like that, okay? So this mid pull is going to interact, or it's going to almost mimic where you're going to end up before you end up going overhead and punch through, okay? So watch me on this one first, okay? I'll show you from this angle here, just a different way to look at it, okay? You're going to notice I'm going to go mid, okay? I'm going to do 2 and 2 so you can see, or I'm sorry, I'm going to go low, okay? Then you're going to see me come a bit higher. It's going to be about that height, okay? So watch, I'm just going to do 2 and 2. So right here, low. Now watch the mid. It's a bit higher, okay? That's it. All right, it does require a little bit more power, but you're seeing all I'm doing, really simply put, I'm going from low to more of a mid, okay? Shoulder never shrugs, lat's always active there, okay? All right, let's go into it. You're gonna go 3 low, 3 mid, park it, and then we're gonna do the other side. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1, 3 low, 2, 3, 3 mid, higher, more power. Okay, and park. Good. Okay, so quick little shakeout. All right, so if you notice, similar to me, I did have to create more power going to more of that mid pull, okay? For you, maybe you did feel that. Or maybe you didn't have enough and you weren't able to get a little bit higher. Maybe you have to use more power in your hips. Try this next side. All right, here we go. Other side. 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 low. 3 mid. Higher. Use the power. Good, and park. Okay, so we made some progress there, all right? I want to be clear of why we did that. When you're going from the low and then to the mid and then to the snatch, it mimics more of what your actual trajectory is going to be like. It's also going to keep it tight in your body. So I have a great video, my good friend Coach Karen, where we talk about painting the fence, okay? A lot of different ways to call it, but we call it sometimes the curtain drill or painting the fence drill. That's where it's like you have an object in front of you, and when you go overhead, you would never touch it or you would paint the fence, okay? Now, this to this to this, it's gonna mimic that and do that for you too, okay? What you're gonna see is progression of power every time you do this, okay? So let me demo this first, okay, so you can see what we're working with. We're gonna go 1 low pull, 1 mid pull, and then I'm gonna have you go 1 snatch, okay? Just to start there, and then we're gonna do some different drills to get from the overhead position and out of it, okay? But just watch me here first so you can see what we're working with. All right, so I'm gonna go step, step, hips. So look, I'm gonna go low, mid, snatch. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back down. All right, so we're gonna do this together here, okay? Remember, this assumes you have good overhead mobility. That means when you're here, look, my shoulder, my wrist, elbow, shoulder, hips, knees, foot are all in alignment, okay? That's good overhead mobility, both sides. If you don't have that, this might not be the move for you, okay? So that's, you've been warned there, right? Because it is a big overhead position, but it's more posterior, okay? And you're gonna see, I'll tell you a little bit more theory as to why the snatch is such an effective movement. All right, but give this a go with me if you have that mobility in your arsenal, okay? We're gonna go one low, one mid, one snatch. All right, here we go. Let's line it up. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Low, mid, snatch. Back down and park. Okay. So if you did that with me, might have felt different than your other snatches. It hopefully got more efficient. Okay. I know this one really helped me when that concept of keeping it tight to my body to go overhead. It really made a lot of sense. Okay. And I'm showing you from the side angle so you can see the bell's not swinging out. It's staying tight the entire time. Let's go to the other side. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Low, mid, snatch, power. Good, and park. Beautiful. Okay. So again, hopefully some of you guys, that was a little bit of a newer cue, but maybe it's helpful to get you to go overhead in a more efficient motion so the bell's not swinging out and it's staying tight to go overhead. Okay. All right. Now I want to talk about a few things because that overhead position for a lot of people can be really interesting where we go from there. Okay. The reason I only had you do one is I want to give you a couple technique cues that we can do from that overhead lockout. Okay. So what I'm going to have us do is I'm going to have us do the same thing. We're going to go low, mid, snatch. And I want you to hold up there. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to have you come back through and then re-achieve that same position. Okay. So we're going to do 3 of those, but I want you to pause at the top with me. Okay. Well, listen to when you hear me say snatch, you're going to go again. Okay. So let me show you the way it's going to look and then you can follow along. So right here, it's going to go low, mid, snatch, hold, and I'm going to say snatch. Okay. Now, the reason I want to do this one is because I want you to start getting what the repetitions are going to feel like, but I also want you to recreate that same motion going top down, basically go from the top. And a nice cue I heard recently about this, rather than thinking about getting the bell to go back through your legs, think about throwing the kettlebell through your stomach, okay? I'm guaranteeing you're not going to hit your stomach, but it's going to get your hips out of the way for sure, okay? So just be aware of that cue. That's a nice little one there, all right? So we're going to go one low pull, one mid pull. We're going to do a snatch pause. We're going to go top down snatch. I'll say snatch. We're going to go 3 of those. Got it? Got it? Good. Let's do it. All right, here we go. First side. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. One low, one mid, then snatch, hold, snatch, right back to the same position, hold, snatch, hold, and park. Good. Okay. So some of you guys being able to recreate that same motion on the way up is great. All right. I want to talk about something on this next side. Okay. And I purposely didn't say it because I can only give you about 1 or 2 cues at a time. That's all I can take in anyway. It's the bandwidth in here for me. All right. Notice on the way down, when I show you on the side, I'm not casting the bell forward. If I do, it's going to pull me out. So some of you guys are getting pulled out of your feet is because you're casting the bell too far forward, okay? A nice way to think of it is like a goose head, like you're tossing it forward and down, okay? But that's where that getting it to throw through your stomach, punch through your stomach is going to help you. You're not throwing it out to try to get between your legs. You're dropping it through, okay? So if you watch, I'll show you one snatch from here. I want you to see that when I'm in this top position, the bell still wouldn't hit that fence, okay? So watch right here. When I snatch, I'm up. When I say snatch again, look at the position, okay? It stays pretty tight to my body, all right? It doesn't go way out. It stays tight, okay? Be aware of that in this one. So when you do that top down, don't let it throw it through your stomach, all right? Here we go. Other side. We're going to go low, mid, 3, snatch, top down. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. One low, one mid, snatch, hold, snatch, hold, good through your stomach, snatch, hold, and park the bell. Good. Okay. So hopefully that maybe cleaned up some of your guys' technique there, because that is quite a bit of, I don't know, just some different things that maybe you never heard, or maybe you never heard it coached in that way, okay? Again, this is hardstyle, so if you notice at all time, my heels and feet are really grounded, okay? My tension stays really tight here, okay? So I'm never letting that bell twist me in any way, okay? This is a pretty heavy bell, but I'm holding it in a good position, okay? So I'm not letting it twist there, all right? So be aware of that. Okay, so we got the top down now. I want to start stringing together a bit of a series of snatches, okay? So what I want to do in this next one is I want to see how we do, which is 3 continuous snatches, okay? So you're going to see we're going to go low, mid, then 3 snatch right into it, okay? Now, I'm still going to do a lockout, but you're going to see I'm not going to pause as long. If you still need that, please use it. There's no penalty for holding the bell up there, okay? Because at a certain point when you get really good at these, you're going to be able to do a lot of reps of them, okay? Every time I recertify, I have to do a 24 kilogram, that's 53 pounds, for 100 times in 5 minutes, okay? It was really hard at first, but over time, as I gotten stronger, of course, and I improved my technique, mostly my technique improvement, it allows me to finish that relatively quickly now, okay? To the point where now the 28 feels like the 24 used to feel for me, okay? So just be aware of that, because this is made for high rep work, and you're going to see this is going to get the heart rate up like no other, all right? So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you real quick. Watch here. We're going to go low, mid, and then 3 snatch. Your pace. Okay? And just be aware your biomechanical breathing matches, okay? So at the hips, that's when we do that breath. It's the same for the swing, the clean, and the snatch, okay? Right when those hips pop, that's when the breath goes out, okay? You ready to follow along? Let's do this thing. All right, so step, step, hips, hands. All right, here we go. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Low pull, mid pull, 3 snatch. Good. You're going to park it and take a second, shake it out. We're going to do that other side, okay? So again, you might find your heart rate starting to climb here. I know mine is. Okay. Other side here. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Low pull, mid pull, snatch. 3 times. Good. Okay. So quick little shakeout. All right. Again, let that heart rate come down. Okay. So some of those things that maybe you need cleaned up, or maybe now that you know how to go top down, hopefully that felt a little smoother than it did before, okay? I do want to talk about a couple other things now, okay? There is a timing of what your hand does when you're going overhead, all right? If you're squeezing that bell too tight, guess what's going to happen? Your wrist is going to get banged, okay? If your wrist is getting banged, the bell's, literally the ball of the bell is just nailing your wrist. I want you to loosen your grip before that happens, okay? Because if that's happening, it usually is because you're gripping the bell too tight. Okay, so be aware that when you're going overhead, you have an option. You can loosen, or I've even seen some people open the hand. Now, the key is having a straight wrist here, okay? If your wrist is broken like this, you're in a really inefficient position, okay? So that's really important that you think about threading the hand through, okay? Even if you try to bring it in this way, see like a snake right here, okay? You can do that, but if you do that, guess what's going to happen? That ball, the handle and the ball is going to pull it back to a perfectly straight wrist, okay? So be aware of that when you're doing the snatch, all right? That you want to have a really straight wrist and loosen your grip as you go up, all right? So if your wrist is getting whacked right here and you're bruising, loosen the grip, okay? I'm going to show a version with my hand open. You can try along with me on this one, okay? We'll do the same thing. Low, mid. I want you to loosen your grip on the way up. Make sure your wrist is straight at the top, even if you need to take a second to check in. All right, here we go. 5 seconds here. First side in 4, 3, 2, 1. Low pull, mid pull, and then we're going to go 3 snatch. Look, my hand's open there. I open my wrist. No impact on the wrist there. And park. Okay, so maybe for some of you guys that's maybe helpful. Some of you guys that like to grip or you have the timing, to be able to receive the bell in a straight wrist position, I'm fine with that too. But you can open your hand. There's some of you guys that might really help you, okay? I know for me, I like to grip it just because I don't have the biggest hands, and as the bells get bigger, the handles get bigger too. So I don't have that luxury. I do need to grip it, especially when I'm doing high rep, but that's totally an option for you guys. All right, let's do the other side. Same thing. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Low pull, mid pull, 3 snatch. I'm opening my hand. And park it. Good. Okay, so right there, I'm gonna do a little shakeout. Anyone else? I got a little sweat going here. My eyebrows are definitely working for me, okay? That's what protects the sweat from going in, for me personally, maybe if you're so lucky. Okay, so some of that technique hopefully helps, guys. That straight wrist is vital, okay? That was kind of one of the last cues I gave. Now, the other thing that I didn't talk about, but just needs to be clear, and I just want you to understand this conceptually, that the deeper you get on your backswing, as with any ballistic hinge, the more power you're going to create going overhead, okay? Because compared to the swing, this one needs to be a rock star, okay? You need to throw those hips, all right? Everything locks in. Remember, when you go from here to here, it's quick, but your glutes, quads, abs all lock in with that breath. That's why we like to take that breath at that point. And when you go overhead, you're tight right there, okay? The beautiful conceptual part of the snatch is it is a big posterior movement, okay? Meaning that not only is it coming from your glutes, hamstrings, all that power where you would get any ballistic hinge, but when you go overhead, you're also receiving the posterior part of your body, meaning it is more of like a pull where you're receiving it there. So different than an anterior move where you're doing a press, okay, more frontal, frontal or sagittal plane going overhead. With this, it ends up being more posterior, okay? So the anterior part opens up because you're receiving the bell in a trajectory where you're going up, but those back muscles are going to be working really strongly. So a lot of people that do a lot of snatches, a lot of times they'll feel soreness in their shoulders, sometimes their traps, because there is a lot of impact that's being received there, especially when you're doing high reps, okay? So that's completely normal if you're doing it. But if you notice that you're doing what's called you're like snatching, but then you're doing what's called a press out, that's no good, okay? Because remember, hardstyle, it's one explosive motion. It's a one explosive motion up and then one explosive motion down. Well, it's not really explosive motion down, but it's more just letting gravity do its thing, okay? So hopefully that helps you just from a conceptual standpoint. As promised, I will give you some philosophy behind the snatch. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to string a few things together, okay? I think this is going to be helpful. We're going to do a drill of 2-2-2, okay? So we're going to go swing. We're going to go, I'm hoping you have the clean in there. If you don't, well, this is a little bit of an advanced tutorial for you. But if you can do 2 clean, we're going to go for that. Otherwise, just do 4 swing. And then we're going to go into 2 snatch, okay? So it's going to go 2 swing, 2 clean, 2 snatch, all right? So remember, swing, it's going out. Clean, you're going to this position to the rack. And then snatch overhead, okay? So I'll do a quick little demo right here. You're going to swing twice. Then you're going to clean twice. And then you're going to snatch twice, okay? So I'm not going to show it. I would, but chalk up. I need a little bit more. I can feel that the sweat was starting to drip down, okay? Chalk just will dry it out a bit. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do again, 2-2-2. 2 swing, 2 clean, 2 snatch. All right, first side. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 swing, 2 clean, 2 snatch. Power. Good. Park it. Okay. Great examples right there of speed and power, okay? As with the swing, yeah, you need pretty good power there, okay? The clean, you actually pull power back a bit, but the trajectory is now going upward, okay? And then with the snatch, oh, you better believe it. You better have a lot of power there, okay? That's the one where you need to have the most drive through those hips, okay? So let's do the other side. 2 swing, 2 clean, 2 snatch. 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 swing, 2 clean, 2 snatch. And park. Good. Okay. So quick little shakeout. Some of you guys may be starting to find that, yeah, that heart rate's up pretty high. I know it is for me. Okay. So that's pretty much all the tools I can give you. There's so much more I could say about the snatch, but that's where I wanted to kind of get you to today before I go into a little bit of a burner here, okay? So what I want to do is I want to go 5 snatch for about 30 seconds, okay? I'm going to do like a relative clock with my breath, okay? So it doesn't need to match my pace, but if you're keeping track at home, what you can do on your own here, we're just going to go, I'm going to have us do a total of 20 snatches. So it's going to be 2 each side. Okay. So it means 5 one side, I'm going to park it, 5 the other side, I'm going to park. Okay. We're just going to go straight in the snatch. Now, if you need to, feel free to do one swing first and then go into your snatch. You could totally do that if you need to create that power, but I want to start stringing it all together. Okay. I'm going to go directly from the ground to the snatch, which I haven't shown yet. So let me just show you the lineup for that. It's exactly the same. You got to make sure you have a good backswing. And when you go overhead, it's got to be powerful, especially on that first one. So you'll see what a snatch looks like, just like this. Good back, and then overhead, okay? So it's just the same exact thing, but from the ground up, okay? Again, if you found that low pull, mid pull useful, you can totally use that too, and then go overhead. But over time, you can just go right in the snatch like I'm about to show you here, okay? So we're going to go 5. We're going to go just 20 total snatches on this one, okay? 5, 5, 5, 5. And then I'm going to call it. We're going to get into the meditation. But you can continue that to be able to get to 50, okay? And then what you can do each week is you can increase it by 1 rep. So maybe 60, 70, 80, all the way up to 100, okay? I'm going to go past that personally. Okay, you ready for this? Let's finish strong here. First round. We got 5 seconds here in 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 snatch. And park. Good. Okay. So again, 30 seconds. You're going to start again when it says 30 seconds on the clock. Okay. I'm going to use what I call the talk test. When I can talk to you normally, that's where we're going to go again. Okay. If you need more rest time, go for it. Okay. Let's do the other side. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And park. All right. You're halfway through. So good. So you guys, this gets your heart rate up. The snatch is known to do that. All right. It's on par with running your fastest time mile. Skiing uphill maybe is one of the only harder activities in this. I don't know. Maybe used to be a wrestler. Wrestling feels the same thing as this thing. Okay. Here we go. We got first side again. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good. Okay. So we're going to go one more cycle here. So my heart rate's high. Okay. I'll let it come down. If you're doing it on the 30 seconds, go for it. And you keep going as high as you want to go. Okay. I'm just giving you a preview. Okay. Because we have an allotted time period. I want to keep these efficient for you. Okay. Let's do that last side. Here we go. Road to 20. 5 seconds here. In 4, 3, 2, 1. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And nice work. So if you finish that, you just did 20 snatches. If you want to keep going, keep that clock running. Work your way up to 50. You could totally do that. Okay. I'm going to stop this here because I want to get into some meditation. But if you're like me, let that heart rate come down. Do what I'm doing, a little fast and loose, shake it out, okay? So I don't want to sit quite yet before I feel that heart rate within reason, okay? So what we have left, meditation, we'll do a little mindful breath, a little gratitude, and then I'm going to finish this off with a Q&A, okay? So if you do have questions, I do see some of the chat going off right now. Please save it for the end. Ask the questions, and I'll be here to answer whatever you need. I'll have the bell here still, and I'll go through any technique you might need, okay? But if your heart rate's within reason, I think mine's pretty good now. Find a comfortable seated position on the ground, okay, or in a chair, wherever you feel comfortable, and you can keep your back straight, okay? So I have my legs crossed. This is my natural crossing. If you're crossing your legs, switch to crossing. That might feel a little interesting. Okay, clear the fleshy part of the butt. Let's put our hands up in a receptive manner. You can do what I call yogi fingers. And then you're going to Feel yourself get tall, close your eyes, and you're going to take a deep breath into the nose and out the nose. Let's go in the nose and out the nose, in the nose and out the nose. And keep that breath flowing nice and deep. Each one deeper than the last if possible. Feel your brow relax, shoulders down and back. Feel your whole body getting tall as you take the tension out where the areas you don't need. That means, notably, not just your body, maybe even the mind. Maybe it's always going. Why don't you just take this second here, this breath here, to just release, relax your mind, quiet it for a second. Enter into what I call the nothing, the no mind, where you just are and you just breathe. Yeah, let's take one more breath, keeping those eyes closed. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Keeping your eyes closed here, just bringing awareness back into your body. What I want you to do is I want you to take your hands, put them over your physical heartbeat. I want you to feel this heart beating for you. This right here is going to beat for you 100,000 times today. Maybe it's time to give it some awareness or even appreciation. Whatever you feel like your heart needs right now, why don't you just unload whatever that looks like for you. Good. From here, we can bring our hands to a prayer position. All I want you to do is just bow your heads towards your hands. And I want you to think about, if you could, one thing in your life right now that you are truly, truly grateful for. Good. When you finish that, bring your head back up, hands back to those knees, no real rush. You can gently start to blink those eyes open whenever you're ready. No rush for you here. Just bring yourself out of it. Okay. So guys, no rush. Like I said, we're going to open up the Q&A. All right. So whatever questions you might have, I'm going to start on YouTube first because I saw that going off. Okay. So we have a great question here. It said from Nathan, thanks for joining the class. He says, should feet always be planted or is it okay to lift the heels on the ballistic movement? Now, that's a good question. I always teach with the heels down, okay? So what he's talking about is when you're going up, can your heels come up to go over, okay? The style I teach in, you definitely want those heels planted because when they start to come off, we call that power leakage in hardstyle, okay? And I want to be very clear to distinguish hardstyle versus sport style, okay? Or geo sport style. Okay, you'll see people that are doing sports style kettlebells, their heels are going to come off because the goal is to be like a marathoner, get as many reps as you can and conserve energy. Okay, now in what I teach, and I shouldn't even be telling you because I'm not certified in that, nor will I probably ever. I shouldn't say ever, but it's because it kind of goes against counter to my style where I'm doing hardstyle where there should be maximal tension. Because when you're going for that explosive ballistic movement, the trajectory of your feet should be downward. So your heels really can't, as you're going up and you're pushing your quads, glutes on, your heels should be very planted on the ground. Now, is it technically wrong or will you fail a rep if you do that? No, not necessarily, as long as you don't lose your footing or step out of it. But it's going to be much more efficient. And believe me, I used to do that where my heels would come off, especially towards the end of a snatch test. And over time, when I was really able to conceptualize that feet through the earth, that really helped me move forward with that. Okay. So from the style I teach, and if you want to create more strength and power, I would say keep your heels down. Great question, Nathan. Thank you for bringing that one up. Let me see what we got on Instagram, if there's one. Let me see, because I know the chat here. Okay. If you have a question on Instagram, feel free to ask it because I'm not seeing. Let me see. Okay. Let me go back to YouTube. I know you guys, some of you guys did ask on Instagram. Feel free to ask again if you didn't ask it. Okay. Here we go. There's one. All right. Tool. I think that's how you say 2OOL 1T. Best weight loss movements. Okay. Real quick. Weight loss is always a funny word for me. And this is maybe a little bit deeper philosophy. What I hear is when you're asking best weight loss movement, I know what you really mean is probably best fat loss movement. Okay. Your scale is somewhat irrelevant. If you don't have your fat versus your lean muscle mass, you don't really have a measurement. Okay. So if you're trying to lose weight, and that means weight, like to me, I'm saying that would be you're trying to lose muscle and fat. I don't know many people that want that. Okay. Especially if you want more of like a lean, muscly look. So the best fat loss movement, I don't know. I don't know that there's such thing because you need to do all movements. So I always teach a hinge, a squat, a push, and a pull. Okay. And then definitely some type of core stability. All those moves usually use your core also. All right. So you need to incorporate all of those movements because fat is distributed evenly in the body, meaning that if you lose body fat, somewhere, it's because you're doing all the movements. That's why people that are sit-up kings, I don't even know if there's such a thing, but like, for example, I don't know the last time I've ever done a sit-up. I don't know. I would just say like, it's not going to help because one move isn't going to change your body. It's going to be multiple moves and multiple planes of motion. Good question though. Thank you for that one. All right. We have, let's see, Chip. I definitely notice a difference between my right and left sides. I feel like I'm sacrificing technique a bit on my weaker side. Any suggestions? Thanks. Really, really good point, Chip. Thanks for bringing that one up. So that is we all have a dominant side. Almost all of us do, okay? And it definitely will show up in the snatch. I remember when I snatched on my right side, I felt like money. And then when I do the left, like I had broken wrist at first, all these different things that I really need to clean up. So asymmetries are definitely eliminated from these moves that are more unilateral, meaning you're working one side of your body versus the other. Okay. So the way with the snatch, the one thing I will say is I think for you, if you're finding a big difference in your technique, that top down method where we were doing starting at the top, coming back down, then getting back to that explosive point where you're keeping your wrist straight. That's going to really help you if you slow it down, pause in the wrap. That's what I'll do when I see if people are rushing through it or they look like they have bad technique on one side of their body. I'll have them pause for like a 1, 2, 3, and I'll say snatch, pause, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I find that can really help cleaning up both sides. Okay. And eliminate any asymmetry. All right. That's a really good question. And definitely the other reality of it is reps. Okay. The more reps you do, the more your technique will improve likely, and those asymmetries will likely be eliminated over time. Great. Thank you for bringing that one up. That's a good one. Hi from Illinois. Hi, Aunt Gilda. I see you in here. North Carolina. Hey, Gary. Hello from Texas. Hello from Germany. Man, we got a whole world in here. Thank you for bringing that, for shouting out there. All right. What else do we have on Instagram? Let me just scroll because I know there's probably more questions on here. If you do have questions on Instagram, please feel free to ask now. Now would be a good time. Otherwise, if you're on YouTube, you can ask any questions. And whatever you guys have for me, we'll finish this up. So let me just scroll up a little bit on here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, it looks like that's pretty much all the questions I have. So if you don't have anything else, guys, I really do appreciate you working out with me today. Again, my website is theformulafitness.com. I have a kettlebell email list because I'm in the process of reformatting it. I'm going to have really good offerings for you for if you like working out with me. I'm going to be able to offer you guys a lot of different content on there. So feel free to join that list and you'll be updated on anything that I'm coming out with soon. Thank you for the Kettlebell Kings for collaborating for this one. Look out for the book coming out soon. It's going to be hopefully coming out sometime in April, May area, somewhere in there. But it's going to be really good. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. It's going to give you a lot of these beginner techniques. Okay. So if you did like this, I try to break it down in a certain way that I think is helpful for a lot of people. I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of different people, teach a lot of different types of bodies, different ages, different everything, whatever you name it. I've been able to hopefully teach it. And I really love coaching you guys on this stuff. So I really do appreciate you taking the time on if wherever you are in this world or if you're rewatching the replay. Thank you for joining me for this workout. And guys, I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye. See ya.